Okay, hi everyone, welcome to Introduction to ESP class. And in this session, we are going to give you some introduction about the course. Okay, so ESP here means English for specific purposes. Okay, so here we are going to learn about ESP, yeah, English for specific purposes, the definition, yeah, the history, the reasons of its emergence, and the stages of developing ESP program up to the theory of material development. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so what is ESP? So there are a lot of definitions about ESP. So in general, people will say that ESP is the teaching of English which is designed based on the learner's specific needs. Some other people will say ESP is a sphere of teaching English. For example, business English, technical English, English for tourism, English for medical professionals, English for science and technology, and so on and so forth. Now, what about the definitions of ESP? Yeah, there are also several definitions of ESP. First, from Anthony here, we have the definition of ESP as the teaching of English to meet specific needs of the learners. So yes, and in ESP, the learners know why they learn English. They have particular needs in learning English. Yeah, so the program, yeah, of English will be made to fulfill the learner's specific needs. Okay, and the second one, ESP is the English course or programs focusing on developing the learner's communicative competence in a specified field. So this is similar to the first one, but the focus here is developing the learner's communicative competence. Yes, basically in ESP we are trying to teach the learners, yeah, to function more effectively in their discipline, in their place of work, yeah, or workplace. Sorry, their discipline, their career, yeah, their office, yeah, their place where they are working. Okay, yeah. Okay, next. ESP is also defined as a matter of specific language use with respect to the occurrence to certain linguistic features and the learner's needs and decision to learn English. So we are focusing on the particular linguistic features, yeah, related to the learner needs. Yeah, we are talking about English used in a more specific discipline. So when we are talking about business English, then we are talking more about the words used in business, yeah, in the offices, in the company, more vocabulary related to business activities. If we are talking about English for tourism, then um, the vocabulary we are talking in ESP will be about vocabulary related to the tourism activities. So when we are talking about ESP, our teaching, yeah, of English will be more specifically related to a particular discipline or major. Yeah, so this is very different with the teaching of general English. So later we will see the comparison between ESP and also general English. Okay, next we still have one more definition here. So ESP is the English instruction for mostly adult students with specific language learning goals directly related to their current or future academic, professional, or vocational lives and also context. So I think from the last definition here, you will be much clearer about ESP. So ESP is the English instruction, mostly for adult students, and they have specific language learning goals which are related to their academic professions and also vocational lives. So ESP doesn't only relate to a particular career, but can also be related to academic lives. Okay, that's about the definitions of ESP. Next, we are going to see the place of ESP within the broad picture of English language teaching. Or let's see, this is ELT3, okay, So when we are talking about English language teaching, we know that there are three main branches of English language teaching. English as a mother tongue, then the teaching of EFL, English as a foreign language, and also ESL, English as a second language. So English as a mother tongue, is the English used in the native speakers country, in English speaking country. We have several countries as an example, like the Australia, New Zealand, America, and many other countries using English as a mother tongue. Then English as a foreign language is the English like what we have in our country. EFL is also the English taught as a foreign language in some other countries, our neighboring countries. We have like the Vietnam, Thailand, and also the last one, ESL, English as a second language here. English as a second language here means that the language is used not only for the medium of instruction in the education, but also English is used in the government. So people can use English or their national language in their daily life. So this is very different from English as a foreign language. So some countries use English as second language, for example, Philippines and Malaysia, and also India. So they can use English or their national language in their communication. But for us, because English is used as a foreign language, then it is more as a subject in our curriculum. So it is learned at schools. And then let's talk more about EFL, because in our context, English is defined as a foreign language. Okay, in EFL, the teaching of EFL especially, there are two types of teaching: the teaching of general English and also the teaching of English as a specific purposes. So here is the place of ESP. So we have general English or GE. So general English is the English taught at schools. You have learned English at elementary school, junior high school, senior high schools, right? So the English that you learn is the example of general English. And what about ESP? ESP is the teaching of English to meet the specific needs of the learners. Okay, there are characteristics of ESP which make it different from general English. The most popular idea about ESP is that we have what we call needs analysis. So before we are teaching the students, we do what we call need analysis. So we analyze what the learner actually need in their English learning. What do they want to master actually? What skill do they need the most? So in ESP, we are trying to help the learners function more effectively in their career or academic life. So the learners can be those who are already working or those who will be studying abroad, for example. So we are helping the workers to master English so that they can communicate well in their job, in their career. Or in ESP, we can also prepare the students for their future academic life. For example, some learners would like to continue their study in foreign countries, so we are trying to teach them the academic writings, so that they can use the skills when they are studying abroad, for example. So what I have just explained is the actually the two branches of ESP, EAP and EOP. So EAP, English for academic purposes, and EOP, English for occupational purposes. So EAP is mostly for students who would like to continue their study abroad. EOP, English for occupational purposes, usually for preparing workers to function more effectively in their communication in English. Okay, next. Let's see the characteristics of ESP. So we have absolute characteristic and also variable characteristics. Okay, there are several absolute characteristics of ESP. Number one, it is designed to meet the specific needs of the learners. I think you have been so clear about this. And then it relates to content, themes, and topics to particular discipline, occupation, and activities. Yes, correct. So ESP will be more specific, specifically related to a particular job, career, occupation. Okay, so when we are teaching English, the teaching can be related to tourism, English for doctors, English for medical professionals, English for journalists, English for business. So the English that we are teaching will be related to a specific discipline. And then ESP is centered on the language appropriate to those activities in terms of syntax, lexis, discourse, semantic, etc., and analysis of this discourse, of course. Then ESP is in contrast with GE. So as I said before, ESP is contrasted with general English. Okay, next we are going to see the variable characteristic. So variable here is not a must, ESP may be, but it is not necessarily restricted to language skills to be learned. So ESP can relate to one skill teaching only. For example, in ESP, English for receptionists, for example, we are teaching speaking skill to the receptionists. But ESP doesn't limit the teaching of a language skill. We can combine 2, 3, or even 4 skills in ESP, even though the priority is only on one main skill. Okay. Second, ESP may be but is not necessarily designed for adult learners. Mostly ESP is for adult learners, but ESP doesn't restrict its program to adult learners only. Younger learners can also join ESP. Number 3, ESP but is not necessarily designed for intermediate or advanced students. Okay, can be for intermediate and advanced students, but of course beginners can also join ESP. And then ESP may use a different methodology from that of GE. Okay, so ESP can use different methodology, but ESP can also use similar methodology. So don't worry about methodology. any methodology can be used for ESP, although they are similar to the methodology used in GE. Okay, so that's about the characteristics of ESP. Hopes the explanation clear, everyone. Next, let's see the comparison between ESP and GE. So ESP here, yeah, the teaching of English as a specific for specific purposes, and GE is for general English, yeah. So need analysis is emphasized. Yeah, we start analyzing the learner's needs when we are teaching in ESP program, but in general English at school, we rarely conduct need analysis. We rarely ask our students about their needs in learning English. And then in ESP, the words, sentences, yeah, the theme, the subject matter are related to a particular field or discipline. So, like what I said before, when we are talking about business English or English for business, then the words, sentences, the subject matter, the materials, yeah, that we are presenting to the student will relate more to the business and business activities. English for mathematics, yeah, the words, vocabulary, the materials we are presenting to the learners will relate to the words and vocabulary related to mathematics. So very specific to a particular field or discipline. But in general English, the words, sentences, subject matter can relate to any common or general field. And then the last one, ESP is characterized by semantic unambiguity of terms and preferences of certain grammatical features. But in GE, GE uses the uses of a high semantic ambiguity and usage of diverse grammatical features are very common. Yeah, so we are like having more unambiguity of terms in ESP because it is very specific to a particular discipline. But in general English, sometimes the word that we are using can have many different meanings, yeah, because it is not related to any specific discipline. Okay, next let's see some common acronyms in ESP. So we have known EAP, yeah, English for academic purposes, EOP, English for occupational purposes, EPP, English for business purposes, EST, English for science and technology, EWP, yeah, English for working purposes, yeah, EMP, English for medical professionals. So you can also create more acronyms. Okay, so in ESP, basically when you are making a program, you can just say English for, and then you mention the professions or the discipline, so they become the ESP program. Okay, next, why did ESP actually emerge? So we'll see the three main reasons, yeah, related to the origin of ESP. Why ESP emerged? Okay, the first reason is the demand of a brave new world. Sorry, I made typo here. And second is a revolution in linguistics. And the third one is the focus on the learners. Let's see them one by one. Okay, first reason, the demand of a brave new world. Okay, after the Second World War, there was an expansion of scientific, technical, and also economic activities. So people want to expand their business activities to other countries. They want to have business partner more and more from different part of the world. So they feel the need of an international language so that they can communicate with other people from different part of the world, from different countries. Yeah, they needed an international language, and the choice fell to English. So at the time, English became the key of the international currencies of technology and science. English was very important to learn. Yeah, and the learners, the traders, yeah, merchant, knew why needed English. Yeah, they want to expand their business activities. Yeah, they want to have many more partners from different countries. So they learn English to enhance, yeah, to promote their business activities. So that's the first reason. Second reason is because there was a revolution in linguistics. So in the past, the teaching of English focuses on the grammar. Yeah, but then as the time passes by, the focus of the teaching English was on the actual use of language in real communication. Yeah, and the English needed is analyzed through the linguistic characteristic of their specialist area of work or study. So we are not just teaching grammar, we are focusing more on the real communication, how people can interact and communicate, yeah, in the real life. So there is a note here. Tell me what you need English for, and I will tell you the English that you need. So when people wanted to learn English, they just need to tell the teacher. Okay, the teacher will ask, you want to learn English? Yeah, what for? For what? Yeah, then the teacher can tell the learners the kind of English that they needed. If the learner said, I want to travel abroad, okay, the teacher can teach the English to help the learners communicate well when they are traveling abroad. If the learner said, I want to do business, yeah, in other countries, okay, the teacher can provide the materials to help the learners do, yeah, their business in other country. They will teach them how to do some business activities and the conversation used in business activities, so that the learners can use English well in their future business activities. So yeah, something like that. So that's about the revolution in linguistics. The last reason is the focus on the learners. Yeah, so in the past, yeah, we have less focus on the learners motivation in learning, but then, yeah, focuses were given more on the learners motivation, because at the time, yeah, people start to see the importance of the learners and their attitudes to learning. So the teaching of English started to focus on the learners needs, yeah, and their interests. Why? Because when the English program are appropriate to the learner's needs, are relevant to the learner's needs and interests, then students will have high motivation to learn. And when the students have high motivation to learn, then their learning process will be much more effective. So that's the idea behind the emergence of ESP. We need to focus on the learner needs. We need to know what interests them, yeah, what the learners actually need. If we can give what they need, then they will see that yes, my class, my program, my English learning is relevant to what I need, to my life. Yeah, when they see that the class is relevant to them, then they will have more motivation to learn. So this is a very good idea, not only for the teaching of ESP. I think this applies to the teaching of the other subjects too. Okay, so again, those are the three um, reasons why ESP emerged. Okay, any question? Okay, if no, then here is the references, the old book, but this is the real handbook for ESP. Okay, if no question, then I should end the introduction session. Thank you so much. Okay, have a nice day.